You, it's your boy Poe. It's your man Poe. Whatever you want to say, but just be respectful. Yeah, I got a lot of things I want to talk about, and I know I don't want to use the. I got a lot of things to unpack. Not in this episode, but I got a lot of things to talk about. I found out a lot of stuff that I needed to know about Undisputed. I I guess I kind of found out the direction they're going in, and a lot of things they were talking about, it was like kind of making me angry, and I had to take a step back. But like for instance, they talking about taking away the ratings and put a tier system. That's crazy. That's crazy. I guess you figure by taking away the ratings and all that and add a tier system, that'll make y'all different from the other sports games. A tier system is for arcade fighting games. So literally, you're telling us that Undisputed is an arcade game. It's an arcade fighter. That's what you're telling us. That's crazy. It's like y'all not hiding a lot no more. I'm like, yo, you serious saying that? Talking about, oh, nah, man, it's a sports game. By you taking that away, it's like you got to take it away from the NBA 2K. You got to take it away from MLB The Show. What makes games like this stand out is like ratings and different stuff. When things are not working, it's because the company is trying to do the ratings. They have experts. It was a lot of experts that was asking me. They said, could you get Steel City to bring me on board? And I gave Todd their name and numbers, but they never called them. I don't people going by what's not working. And what's not working is because the developers. Me, I that's why I don't get too, I mean, developers respect my opinion because I'm like, why are you making this certain thing arcade when you can't do it? Hire the right people for it and it'll act right. It ain't like it won't work or function. It's not working and functioning for Steel City. What's up, Leafy? It's not working for Steel City because they're not, it's like they're not passionate about it like they act like they are. Yeah, they did a very poor job. And I kept picking that up and I kept saying, yo, because this guy's named Jones. He does ratings for this other boxing game. It's a sim game, but the outcome is always accurate to what the boxer does. It's like they trying to do it instead of hiring. And another thing, my pet peeve with Steel City is why do y'all have CompuBox boxing? That I said it twice. CompuBox, and then why do you have that my mind just slipped on me. But why do you have these different things and you're not using it to its full potential? You're just using it like the name instead of using it for its full potential. Box Rec. Like, why you not using Box Rec the way it should be used? Because Box Rec is something that you could use on the offline modes. And my thing is, I'm getting a lot of conversations with people. They saying this game should be online only. If it was online only, the game will not sell because everybody is not going to be forced to play online. They really not going to play online. I know that from a lot of when I was helping EA, I think it was Fight Night Round 4, they tried to do that. They tried to make it, I think they did a dry run for just online. Didn't work. them offline players was not trying to hear. You weren't forcing them to play online. They even before they was going to take that I'm all stuttering. Before they took away the buttons at one time. It wasn't no buttons you could use. It was everything was stick based. And EA, I told them when I went to the community event, I said, if you take these buttons away, you're gonna lose money. He said, nah, they'll get used to it. They lost so much money. I think they did it for about a week and a half. They lost so much money. They say, oh, we gotta put them buttons back in. That's why when Still City be saying certain things, I know how the industry works. Like when Ash was saying, when I said that thing that some people think they're smart, but they don't really know. He was saying it pointing at me and Beast. Me, I know how the industry works. I do. I made sure. That's why I used to challenge the EA devs. I did my research and they said, Dad, Poe, we can't put nothing by you. We can add, we're gonna add it. We're gonna add it. But might get us in trouble because they had people above them. Like nowadays, like when I talk to developers, it's no excuse. All these excuses that Still City is using is because the developers are not experienced. Everything that they say they can't add is because of no experience in doing it, or they just trying to prolong the process of the game so they could get more money. But my thing is, you make a great game quick as possible, you're going to get paid. Let me see what Jay's saying. Not gonna lie, that's one of the biggest thing I just like about round 4. Straight analogs is insane. Yeah, yeah, that was one of my pet peeves too. Cause even with the button, cause people be making excuse. Oh, buttons is buttons. It punches too fast or this or that. The way I seen EA fix the buttons and the sticks, they go at the same pace. Like the punch goes out the same way the stick will go out. But their thing is with the sticks, it makes it feel more I hate using this word, authentic. Makes it when you push the make you feel like you're really throwing a punch and stuff. But pressing the button, it didn't feel like it to them. Let me see what Leaf said. Do you think having no stick punching as a default preset will hurt a boxing game? Now, yeah, I think, but it got to be options. Everything got to be options because if you want your game to really sell and make money, it got to be options. And I'm starting to see this thing with Still City. They don't want options. They want you to play one way. Like when I heard Ash literally, he answered my question. He don't really want when he first in the beginning of the game, he wanted hardcore and he wanted a casual. At first, it was the hardcore was more important, and then later on he added the casual. That's what he said, and it actually was in the roadmap. He said, "Yeah, we're going to bring casual mode in the game later," but then it turned out that the casual, the hybrid mode came in, and I know that whole roadmap, it sounds so familiar to me. That's why I'm not gonna say the name, but it sounds like EA. Like when a lot of things I be like, that sounds like EA. It sounds like EA. Cause I literally used to talk to the developers day and night. Cause EA, that's one thing about EA developers. They stay late working on the game. They stay late at night. Just working on Fight Night. But with Fight Night Champion, they stayed late working on the story mode. The story mode was more important than the rest of the game. Let me see. That's why I'm surprised when he said he didn't want a casual mode. Yeah, that's right there. See, I don't. I'm a hardcore fan. I mean, hardcore or boxing sim mode and stuff like that. But I'm always for the community. Should have both modes, casual and hardcore. It brings more money to the game. What's called NBA Live has it. I mean, NBA Live had it. NBA 2K has it. WWE, even though it's a fake sport, I mean, it's a fake sport, it has it. MLB The Show, it has it. FIFA, it has it. Now we get to a boxing game, it doesn't really have it. That's why I'm surprised when he said he didn't want a casual mode, laughing out loud. As someone who dislikes easy games, people need to learn how to get used to games now. Then exactly. And that's what Ash was saying. That's why when I listen, it was like making me sad. Like, yo, this don't sound like Ash. Not the Ash that I knew of. I said a lot of stuff. He's like, yeah, I'm a hardcore fan, but okay, you're a hardcore fan. You're the owner. You're the owner of Steel City. And this is the conversation we had. He said if he was to get investors and publishers, he was going to sign a document that he had full control over the way the game was made. But for some way, it seemed like he doesn't have full control of how the game is made. Like somebody talked him out of his ideas. He literally keep repeating. He's saying that everybody's saying his ideas are too over the top. I mean, too too much. Let me see. Not less fun, but less open. It's features that could be added in. Yeah, I don't understand the removal of features. They keep removing things, and just I already said it, but when I was talking to a developer, he said they taking things away because they're trying to set up for the next game. And then in the next game, they're gonna be like, look what we did. We gotta we figured it out to make them exclusive. It sounds good when you have something that you fix in the next game and you add it. They're gonna have. He said the customization gonna be amped up. He said the presentation gonna be amped up. You're gonna have referees. Not one. They're gonna probably have referees because I know Ash hired. I mean, Ash has more than those 2 or 3 referees that you see. Ash signed, I think, was it? He said 10 or 20. I still got the email. And what else? It's a lot of things they're gonna add into what's called because they're like, I know somebody said, stop giving them. You trying to give them everything in one shot when you're gonna have more games. But my thing is, every other game when you have more games, that means you tweak things better instead of just leaving everything out. Because they're like, stop giving everybody everything. What's up, e-boxing champions? Salute to you too. Leafy, let me see. The controls need to be reworked, in my opinion. It shouldn't have punching on both sticks or buttons in one configuration. Yeah, it should be a way that you can customize the controls to your liking. It's just like telling somebody you can't punch a certain way. If I'm punching with buttons and a stick or whatever my configuration is, it's just like you fighting somebody that you can't dictate their style. Can't be like, well, we both playing sticks and that's how it's gonna go. No, if we're playing and everything lines up together, like far as you're not super fast and all that, it should be whatever configuration you want to use. Salute, Kano. Like, let me see. Speaking of ref, that's why I started off the convo with immersion. Exactly. And that's a word that me and Ash kept using in the conversation. Immersion. He wants the game to be as immersive as possible. And I'm like, what happened? And then see, I wouldn't have been a good person to go to that event, even if I some type of way I would have found a way to get there. Yeah, Beast is trying to get me to he said, yo man, get up your money and go out there. You might be able to meet Ash. But I told him, I said, nah, man, I'm not going out there to Vegas. For one, my son has a birthday Monday, and I'm saving all the coins I can. I wasn't going out there just for that. Let me see. Speaking of why I started off the conversation, people saying I did the wrong thing, but that was not only a good starter, but the truth. The immersion is a bit lacking. It is. Immersion present and presentation is lacking. What happened to the walking through the gym stuff that we had? They're like we never this that's the funny thing. They act like those videos and stuff don't exist anymore. We saw the fighter walking through the gym and stuff. Walk past the gym bag and stuff. Let me see, Leafy. Like one could have let me see. Like one could have face buttons on punch and stick for block. Yeah. That could be that person's setup. I don't think it matters the setup. It's like the mechanics are off. The boxing mechanics are off. And my thing is, I heard that Coach Anthony approached Ash, and you know they traded. I mean, he gave Ash his number, and I don't think it's gonna really make a difference that Ash not gonna bring them on board because they already got set what they want to do. And I don't like what CB told me. He said, "Yeah, we got boxers back in the studio. You and Jay Shep, them the boxers that's back in the studio. That's not what I'm talking about. And no disrespect to Jay Shep or CB. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about when they had Josh Teller in there and they had Ryan Rose and all those people in there, the game looked it better. And Will trying to act like I didn't want to bring up his name, but Will acting like that model that Ash had was almost like he trying to brush it off as a CGI game. It wasn't a real game. That was a real game. If you listen to the whole, I said, hold on, let me listen to this again. Am I missing something from listening? I mean, in that video, he said that was a work in progress video. So they have those, they still have them video. I mean, that the models. Their thing is he didn't want, I know I keep bringing it up. He didn't want that model, he wanted his own model. And I don't want to, sound like because let the beast be the beast and let Poe be Poe. But yeah, that's his mindset. He wanted to contribute something that was his. And he keeps saying, I know he gonna because he separated y'all. When I was looking, he's like, and everybody that I talked to will kind of talk to them alone. Each one of y'all content creators by yourself. Am I lying, JMMA, or did I miss understand? But it's like Will got each one of y'all by yourself, and that's a strategy. That's a strategy in the industry. That's why all the things he doing, I know, it's a strategy, especially with EA. And I'm looking at Will. Will looked like he was doing his old job at EA. He looked like he was a community manager. Instead of letting CB do it, he was doing it. But that's neither here or there. Let me see. I'm totally not sharing out what my game currently has. Yeah, don't share none. Will is a weird guy. His smirk throws me off. Yeah, yeah. Cause I'm like, it's a lot of people that want to be more involved in this game that they're like really pushing out. That's really knowledgeable. But then when you listen to Ash like put perspective on what this game is going to be and what it's going to look like. Cause I was looking at that, I was like, Dad. I was like, thank you, Jay. I was like, thank you, King Juice. I was like, thanking them because everything. If you like isolate certain things that they were saying, Ash was telling on himself. Shoot, I wanted to be. I left round for round. I was helping round for round a lot. I was getting people that wanted to be a part of the team. I had people that wanted to invest in the team. But I said, hold up. I said, ESBC looked better than what we're trying to do. Plus, we didn't have a game model. Because I kept telling him, I said, Ash, where is the game model? We don't have a game model. He had a what would you say? Outsourced developer, Wicked Witch. They were going to be the developers because one company stole money from them. One money stole it was a what kind of company was it? It was a mobile company. He was gonna try to get a mobile company to make a console game. I said that's not gonna work. I was telling him all the things that was not gonna work. We used to sit up there and argue. He was trying to force me to accept his ideas, and I said, Ash, that's not gonna work, man. And they brought me on board because I knew more things than them. But then, being that he was the CEO, everything was on him. Will gives me door-to-door insurance salesman vibes. That Fallout guy that came to the door with the insurance. What up, Poe? In chat, the thing I found highly interesting is that Will didn't even show up to the Q&A and also no, he was there. He was I was peeking. See me, I'm observing the whole scenery. Will was directly in front of Ash. He lined himself up. Now me, I like to look at people's eyes, the directions they go. He's looking at Will, like look up at Will to get little cues and stuff. Will make sure he position himself. Right, it's like he was like right like on this side of Ash, he positioned himself. So Ash, like one time he was this way and he looked over like he wasn't really looking because they look at videos, they're like, oh, they discovering what we do. So he tried to make it as subtle as possible. But he was looking up at Will, and Will was like giving him little cues and stuff, what he can or cannot say. Because Ash, he'll tell you everything. Ash, one of them people that, he'd be so excited about certain things that he wanted, he don't really know how to control his mouth sometimes. What up, poet? Oh, I read that. I tried to tell you a while ago, Ash changed and it showed over time. It really showed when I saw that video. I said, God, now I'm starting to think, I'm like, did Will actually tell him to stop talking to me or did he stop talking to me on his own? No, I still think it's Will, but he still changed though. Oh, I had a question. This Leafy Sanders. Oh, I had a question. I saw a new game being made by XEA developers who made the old NBA Street games, and I was wondering if you think old EA devs will partner together to make a new boxing game. That's what I thought Brizzle was going to do. But Brizzle left, and it's funny because If you're a smart person, you'll see. Brizzo left EA, but went to a partner company. So really, you didn't leave EA. You just went to a lower version of EA. Because I did a post for him and everything. I was like, yeah, Brizzo, I said, salute for all the time you was at EA and, the friendship and all the fun times we had. And come out, did my research. This Joker is at one of their offshoot companies. Yeah, old EA dev. I always talk to them. I remember I did research to Fight Night developers. They done moved on and went to other games. They're like, Dad, you still at it? I said, man, it's been like decades and you still at it. I forget the guy name. You said Ash didn't. You said Ash didn't. What was I talking about? What Ash said, and Ash did mean what he was saying, and you was basically saying that's not what he meant, and that's exactly what he meant. Ash, that I forget the question, but what it was, um, Ash was saying stuff, and I'm like, yo, Dad, what was it? Yeah, Ash meant what he was saying. Yeah, you were saying, well, where's the line? What Ash said, it was a lie. What he was doing, he was lying. Because he left a timestamp with no explanation. What you mean? Who left a timestamp? Me or Ash? I'm not understanding. I'll be trying to explain stuff the best I can. Some things people, I'm not coming at you, but some things people don't understand it or they don't want to understand. I'm not saying you, but they don't want to understand it because it goes against what they want. It's like they want this game to be better. We all want this game to be better. We all want this game to be better. But I literally gave up on this game. Once I heard what Ash's vision was, his new vision was, and that arcade crap, y'all, I'm pretty sure y'all heard when he said, let's take away ratings and all that. That's arcade game. That's an arcade game. That's a fighting game. How you gonna take ratings from a game that's supposed to be authentic game, authentic boxing game? It should line up like 2K has ratings and all that. It should line up like MLB has ratings and all that. It's a sports game, but you trying to fix it to be like an arcade fighter. I'm like, what the heck are you doing? What are you saying? Let me see. Now y'all got to explain what. If JMMA still in the chat, can you verify it if Will was in the room? Yeah, he was in the room. Who video was that? I think it was it King Juice? It was either King Juice or Dark Side, one of their videos. And had a I didn't leave no cryptic message. I left the timestamp of what Ash said. If you listen to that whole section with a timestamp, Ash literally was lying about things. He was lying. I can't remember it, so I'm not going to try to repeat it verbatim. But what do you think about punching with the head off the line? Uh, Leaning outside to land the straight, slipping inside while jabbing, etc. All I always thought that was really important. Yeah, it is. It's a lot of things they're trying to get rid of. Like I keep hearing people that's saying get rid of the body jab. That's boxing. You should be asking, give us the things to stop the body jab. That's like telling Floyd, you walking up to Floyd or a boxer that body jabs and say, man, you know what? The next round, don't body jab at all. That's your stupidity for not finding a way to deflect or stop that. If a person keep body jabbing me, never happened to me in my life. I guess because I was a short heavyweight. But Joker body jab me, I'm hitting them with an uppercut or a hook. But the body jab catch you off guard. That's on you. Stop taking away stuff because you're not understanding. And I like when people were saying we should have a tutorial. Exactly. That's what you should have. Stop taking away stuff because you're not understanding of the sport. And don't get mad if you don't understand. It's okay to learn. When I used to go to boxing gym, I went to Joe Frazier gym. I went to George Benton gym. Went to all these different gyms. And I was learning. I wasn't like, I know how to do that. I know how to do this. I know how to do that. I went to Rocky Marciano gym in Jersey City. I live in Newark. He has a gym. It's not even Jersey City. It's Bayonne. It's right by the tracks. The highway in New Jersey. I've been to Rocky Marciano gym. Talked to one of his friends, close friends. So it's up to you. Stop blaming the mechanic. No, not you, Poe. The other dude I replied to. Oh, okay. See, we had that was a misunderstanding. That was a misunderstanding. Glad you cleared that up. Poe, what do you... Oh, I read that. Get rid of the body jab. That's some... Exactly. That is straight casual. And my thing is, we letting if you read it up, this is my thing. Look it up. Casual gamers do not stay this long. They do not stay long on a sports game. They do not. They're going to move on to, like I say, October, November, December. It's going to get so low. Guess who's going to still be here? The hardcore fans hoping the game get better. That's the fans that's going to be there, but they're going to leave with the casual fans because the kind of game that we got. Casual loves trying to make games easier. Just go play Hello Kitty Island Adventure. Leafy said that. What you doing on Undisputed, Poe? What you taking away that... No, how you taking away that lunge body jab? Time it with a hook. If it was like, if I was speaking like realistically, if the game functioned the way it was, if somebody do a lunging hook, because you got to realize when you do the lunge, it's a movement that you do in real life, but that's not the way the game's set up. You're going to lunge, so you got to basically kind of cock yourself to do the lunge. Man, I'll catch you with a right hand or a hook. Could catch you with an uppercut. So it's things that should be in the game to stop, certain things. But people asking for the wrong things. That's what I'm saying. Sometimes it's okay to be quiet in conversations and listen and learn. It's okay. Me, I listen and learn. Like when people are like, Poe, you don't know this and you don't know that. You're not a developer. I listen and I learn. I got over 30 years of listening to developers, doing research, listen to developers. That's why a lot of developers remember me. I be on LinkedIn, they be like, oh, you're that pain in the butt. Let me see. I agree, esports boxing champions. I agree, you're not supposed to instantly know everything about anything. If the game has the mechanics and the depth, you learn and improve the longer you play. Instant replay value. Exactly. Exactly. And they keep saying that fans like knockdowns, knockouts, and they like the flash. They're saying the casual fan. But you can get that. You gotta earn it. They want everything to be instant gratification. Like Ash was saying something, I was like, Dad, going, I wish I was there so I could disagree with him. He was saying you can have a strategic boxing match that go to 12 rounds. So you saying just because you're being strategic that it's going to go 12 rounds? It's a strategy to knocking somebody out. You could be like, oh, he keep dropping his hand. I'm about to knock him out. I'm being strategic. That's strategic. Or he keep doing the same things over and over. You can knock him out or stop him. So I'm like, what are you talking about with the 12 round stuff? Let me see. The sliding body never needs to be removed. It needs to be adjusted. That's exactly right. The best forward moving body jab is cruise discern. The women boxers look better for some strange reason. I don't know if that's by design or what. The women boxers look, more authentic. Poe, all your answers got to be how Undisputed is programmed right now. You ain't stopping that lunging body jab with a check hook or uppercut. Yeah, the way. Now imagine, all right, you're right. But check this out. Remember the ESBC version. Remember the ESBC version of Undisputed. Imagine somebody trying to do the lunging jab back then. Everything looked so realistic and perfect. You could have check hook a person or throw the right hand. But the way the game is set up now, it's not. And Ash is not telling a full story. Because one of the guys, no, two of the guys that used to work for the company that I helped, I ain't helped, but I told them about the company. They were working there under contract. And one was he was doing animations and the artwork. And he did some beautiful artwork. One of them used to work for EA, which I was trying not to put EA people in there, but he was like, he ain't really like EA either. But my thing, and this is another thing I got to bring up. Why do they have so many EA guys at Steel City? Nobody never peeped that out. Nobody never questioned that. Why so many people from EA or former employees from EA? 2K got people that need a job. It's so many companies that has people that need jobs. It's a guy. It's a combat engineer. That's his title, combat engineer. Why don't you have these type of people on your team? It's a couple of them. They looking for jobs. I'm like, yo, why are you not getting these people on your team? I look at the whole team structure and the people they hired. They don't have the right people on the team. And Nash keeps saying, yeah, we need the DLC to I was saying that, I was repeating that before he even just said it. But as you said, he needs to sell DLC to keep the money moving. Coming in, so he can hire more developers. Stop you repeating sales pitch. You're repeating a pity party. You had the money, and no shade to the content creators that went out there, but my thing is, you spent money for creators to come out there. That was a lot of money. You bought another building. I don't know if a building, but you bought a whole floor. That could have been developers that you need. It's crazy. If Ash truly wanted to make it casual friendly, but keep the realism in the game, at the same time, why did they remove 3 points to the body, 3 points to the head? Casual just gonna throw punches. Yup. Because A1, AJ Pack, what's up, AJ? Because A1 that has the proper credentials will weaken willpower. Exactly. If you bring in the right people with the right skill sets on the team, it will will um weaken them needing him. They're like, what do we need him in for? What is he doing? And what I saw at the event, he's doing the community manager mode. I mean job. What you said is that's still in the game. Nah, I'm hearing people saying that's not. I ain't played the game in a while, but I'm hearing people saying that's not in the game. It will weaken Will's vision on boxing. Yeah, and some that on sports game analysis pointed out is he's pointing out that how things was changing, and you could like literally see how things was changing. It's like he had to make sure he put his footprint on the game. Let me see. At Freddie G. That's what Will said. But where's the HUD? It only shows two sides. Facts. Yeah. That's why I be record. I mean, I be making sure I screenshot everything when somebody talking to me. Take a screenshot of it and everything. Will literally told on himself in the Discord, but nobody caught it because everybody was so like when Will stepped in that Discord, it's like the king came in there. Everybody just disregarded what Will was actually telling them. He was telling them the truth. He said he didn't know what Ash was doing with the ESBC. He ain't know Ash vision for that. So he like basically said he had to make his vision. And plus when he played Boxer Fanatical and Boxer Fanatical was kicking his butt, he had to make the game so it's easier for him. He gets somebody that's that plays well in the game. Then he said, "Oh, I know now. I know what I can take out, so I can be, competitive in it." But there are hard games that people learn, like Tekken, Mortal Kombat, Street Fighter. People learn these games. They learn the controls and everything. So that same mindset could be applied to Undisputed. If it's in the game, show proof. Talk is cheap. Let me see. Levy said, according to Seth, it's in the game, but hidden. Yo, that's crazy. It's in the game, but it's hidden. What does he mean by it's hidden? So it's not in the game. So it's not in the game, laughing out loud. Yeah, it's not in the game. If it's hidden, it's not in the game. Type of junk. They keep using PR stuff. That's why I be going. Yo, read my articles when y'all get a chance. Read my articles on my blog because I be breaking down stuff and I have receipts. When people be saying, Poe, you don't know what you're talking about. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. I've been doing this for quite a long time. When I didn't even have a beard, I've been doing that for a long time. Stop telling me I don't know what I. You just don't understand what I'm saying because you don't know. Let me see. Prioritizing casual players' preference doesn't work in boxing games. It really don't really work that well in sports games at all. That's why they give them options. Like NBA Live, if it was just a only casual game, I mean NBA. I don't know why I keep saying NBA Live. NBA 2K, it got modes for the hardcore fans. When they start doing that extra stuff, my player and my, all the other stuff, that's for the casual fans. But you can adjust it for the hardcore fans. It's the same mistake EA made with Fight Night Champion. Let me see. Prior to exactly. Yeah, what EA did with Fight Night Champion, which they wasn't at first, because they was gonna say the actual gameplay was gonna be so-called realistic, and the story mode was gonna drag the casual fans in. It backfired on them. Let me see. That guy Slick. If it wasn't in the game, then you wouldn't get cuts in the middle of your forehead, bro. I don't understand that. What's up, Poe? Will's vision of the game is so bad. It is, really is, because his thing is they going by, and this is research. They're going by, even the publishers and investors. They going by what worked 10 and 15 years ago. I can even say as far as back as 20 years ago. That doesn't work now. You can't make the same excuses now. They really can't. They can't use them same things. Because you got to realize what worked 10 years ago. Now imagine somebody that was playing the game 10 years ago or 15 years ago and they were 15. And now we speed up to today. They're 25 and 30. You know they're gonna question everything, but y'all keep. That's why they hate that adults play the game. But the adults have extended money. They have money. They have jobs. Let me see. If you couldn't get any damage in the center of your face, then why can you get cuts in that area? You're not making any sense, brother. She says there. She said it's still there, but only one bar shows for head and body. That's some garbage. Exactly, Leafy. Freddie G, I hear you, bro. But that cut in the middle of the forehead looks random as heck. Yeah, and it's stupid. It's a stupid cut, and it doesn't go. A cut to the forehead should be from a headbutt, because that's not you ain't seeing nobody really get no cut on the forehead with no punch in the head. Really not. Imagine Fight Night Champion at 60 FPS and 6x blocking. People gonna buy it. People be excited. Yeah, that's pretty much Fight Night Round 4. Yeah. I hate that some people associate me with Fight Night Round 4 because I was a community leader and senior moderator, and I was an advocate for the community when I went to the Fight Night Round 4 event. But it's a lot of stuff I didn't agree with that game. And like I said, like I didn't agree with a lot of things. So when I got back to the studio, I mean back to when everybody got back to where they belong, Brizzo and the team, they asked me for the wish. I had a massive wish list back then. That's why everybody said everything you rate is Chat GTP, whatever, Chat GPT or whatever. But they keep saying that's what it is. I've been writing wish lists for decades. Those are my ideas. They really are. I have cookbooks with like over 900 recipes in it. That's how my brain works. Let me see. Yeah, but Fighting Around 4 doesn't have 6 axes, so no. Let me see. Uh, Not on one stick. You have to land with the block, but it's very similar. That guy slick is hidden, but still there. It's obvious because you can still get cuts on your forehead, but won't get the fight stop for that particular cut. True. I just wish I worked like the. I just wish it worked like the Fight Night Round 4 block system. To be honest, e-boxing champion. Honestly, Fight Night champion cut out too many punches compared to round 4 and basically eliminated most of the leaning attacks and defense. Yeah, that's true. Boy, I was on them, boy, like a coach that had a student that came in the gym 2 days later. What's funny, oh, this AJ Pack saying this. What's funny is that the cuts in the game would be more in tune if you got headbutted. Yeah, facts. But we don't have that kind of physics for even incidental contact. That's true. So a lot of things missing that was promised earlier. Freddie G. So it's in the game visually, but it's disabled effectively. Leafy says 100% Fight Night Round 4 and Fight Night Champion had good stuff in each, in my personal opinion, that we could combine into one game as long as we took all aspects that were realistic. Facts. E-boxing champions. Poe, I remember you from Fight Night Round 4. You was whooping them devs. Oh yeah, that was no, I was sparring Sergio Mora. I was like, Dad, I wish I was in the shape I am now. I probably would have dropped him. Beast wanted me to knock him out. Beast said, "Man, you should have knocked him out." And that's crazy because and when I used to spar, I was known for sparring hard. But I was like, nah, I ain't gonna mess up my chances by hurting this guy. Even Shane Mosley, because they asked him to get in the spar. And he's like, nah, I ain't sparring. Spar no heavyweight. What am I spar heavyweight for? And I ain't boxing years at that time. Let me see. You saw Will on the side of the ring when I was sparring on Sergio Mora. Let me see. That guy slick. What do you mean? What do you want to happen? You got to speak more on that. That guy slick. You can bring manual blocking into the game. Doesn't matter if you don't have a sim mentality or gaming integrity. Just meta players on simulation mode. Oh, then I'm glad you said that. I said something that it like really annoyed me. He was asking everybody, see, that's why I should have been there. He asked him, he said, why? He said, the game's supposed to be played a certain way. And when everybody plays the game a certain way, it looks like boxing. What are you talking about? If you got the right mechanics in the game, it's going to look like boxing. If the game was fixed, it will look like boxing. It's not like, all right, man, I'm a, don't move this way, move that way. Don't you realize what you're saying is, well, Emmanuel Emmanuel Augustus shouldn't be fighting the way that he fights. Because you're trying to say everybody's supposed to do certain things. That's on you. But you don't have the right mechanics in the game. I'm like, yo, what is he talking about? Sometimes you be quiet about certain things because it don't sound right. And that's why they don't like older people playing their games. Let me see. Leafy said, if you have mechanics that enforce you to learn boxing, all matches would actually look like boxing. Exactly. What Ash did is what you call leading the witness. It becomes a loaded question that has a closing ended answer. Yeah, it was. It really was. That's why I'm like, when you say certain things, a child don't catch on, but adults do. Some child kids will catch on to things. But I'm like, you saying stuff because he's like, when he was saying, he was like trying to make them agree with him. He's like, right? If wouldn't you agree that if everybody fought the same like fought like the game was intended, it will I'm like, yo, man, what are you doing? That don't make no sense. Let me see. If you if a cut in the middle of man, y'all still talking about that cut in the middle of the forehead, man. If a cut in the middle of the head visually shows damage, just like the other cuts, then why is the middle cut the only one that can't create a fight stoppage? That cut in the middle of the head, that's an MMA cut. That's not a boxing cut. It's like you very rarely see a cut like that in a boxing match. Very rarely. And all the fights that I seen, and I saw thousands of them, I never saw it unless somebody got headbutted, joker like super aggressive and headbutt you. But a punch, no. Leafy, exactly. Yeah. You can't say it's a bad game with its very simple controls. So the players need to only use certain controls to do certain things to make it look right. Freddie G said, you can have all the mechanics in the game, Poe and Leafy. Doesn't matter if you don't have the IQ, button mashes will always make the game look bad. That's okay. If button mashers mash is just like somebody that never boxed a day in their life, they come in the gym and they like buzzsawing, trying to knock me out or hurt the person. You a boxer. You know that button mashing is not gonna work. That's what I'm talking about mechanics. You doing all that windmill and doing all this and stuff like that. Man, the Joker gonna knock you out. Matter of fact, somebody did that when I was playing the betas. I stopped the Joker. Joker's coming in like trying to spam the punches. I said, all right, boom, hit him. Joker quit. He like, yo, what the heck? IQ does mean it means a lot. It's just that the mechanics is not. We could we could talk about what won't work once we get the mechanics and see if it don't work. A clockwork or what's up, man? It does happen. Yeah, but I was saying it very seldom happen. It's like a headbutt to the head. You're gonna probably see in 100 fights. You probably see it one or two times, if that. It's not often that you see somebody get like that. And wasn't that a head? But they made Badu Jack head open up like that. I'm not. I don't remember that. Boxers don't get cut every fight either. Exactly. Exactly. That's what I be trying to say. People be like, "Well, I was fighting this guy." Certain boxes, I forget what they used to call it, because even in earlier EA games, boxes wasn't like it. It wasn't affecting them. But every boxer does not get cut. I forget what's the name of it, what they call it, but I think it's toughness or whatever they got it, because they keep changing these names around. Let me see. Edwin Valerio got a nasty cut on his forehead, but it was from an elbow. Exactly. That's what I'm talking about. It's very seldom you see somebody with a get open up on their forehead or something with a punch. You not gonna. I'm thinking that Bo Jackson. Now I got to do my research. I think he got opened up with a elbow or something. I don't think it was a punch. New people in the gym aren't spamming left hooks over and over. It's the players making it look. Yup. Pull the cut conversation pertains to 3 point and body system that purposely still in the game. Dad, y'all dragging that conversation out, boy. I think y'all been on that conversation probably for a half an hour to an hour. If Ash wants us to play the game, this AJ Pack saying this. If Ash wants us to play the game the way it's supposed to be, then why didn't anyone ask him, how do we achieve this outside of the confines of a virtual league? Exactly. They were agreeing with it. They were agreeing with it, and they said, yeah, when we do our league and stuff, I'm not trying to get on y'all, but I'm just being truthful. Um, they're like, yeah, when we been our league, we don't do certain things. You shouldn't have to handcuff nobody to play a game. I mean, play boxing. You can't do this. You can't do that. Now, and this is see the questions that they were asking. I'm like, why didn't y'all say you could cancel out mirror matches? Like somebody have you like it should like be a contract system. Like I always say, that's an idea that I gave out there, but nobody listening. It should be a contract system that no, you can't pick a mirror. So it could be a mirror match. You got to pick somebody else instead of that's annoying. Let me see. That guy said, yeah, it was a head, but yeah, exactly. Thanks for looking that up. I don't know if you looked it up or not, but thanks. AJ Pax, because 99% of the world doesn't play Undisputed in a league. The game gives the gamers free will, not IQ. Free will can be IQ. IQ. The player base makes the game looks bad. They do, but that's still on you. If a person is bad at the game or make it look bad, you should, even if you got an IQ, that goes back to the mechanics. If you have a better skill base, and this is my thing. Boxing I view, he's a boxer. He's a former boxer. He proved my point. A boxer just beat a gamer, a so-called high-level gamer. No disrespect, but he beat a gamer. So he used boxing IQ to beat that gamer. In EA, it was the cuts rating. Yeah, that's it. That's it. Thanks for looking that up. I forgot because nobody really used cut ratings. That's why I be saying it's a lot of ratings that's missing, a lot of traits that's missing, and the traits don't even work no more. Do anybody notice that the traits that boxers have, they do not work in the game? They really do not work in the game. They're just placeholders. That's what aimbot them used to say about certain things. They're placeholders. That's what they are. That get too high and you get to leaking. Hard, I think, make your fighter less likely to be affected by it. I think the heart it was easier to get up to him. AJ Pax, you can achieve that by playing the game with at least half a brain, not like a 5-year-old. The problem is the player base. We're the problem. I can't agree with that. I really can't. The league isn't anywhere near close to Sim, respectfully. And my thing, some people be saying certain things like, by keep repeating it, it makes it valid. Like, yeah, we do this and we do that, and this is what works for us. That don't make it valid. I appreciate that, bro. Means a lot. Oh, that's what Clock said to that guy Slick. If the mechanics are on point for a boxing game, focus on simulating boxing, the highest boxing IQ should rise to the top. And facts. And that's what Ash used to say. And that Slick guy said, Poe traits don't work in the game because of the dumb health bar system. Facts. And the BP what's that? The BPM system, that's not in the game no more, I heard. And that system right there, it was a great thing to have in the game. I did like King Juice asking about the offline player tendency. Me too. I like, oh, somebody talked about. I asked, yo, did this the funniest thing? I asked every person that went to the a person that went to the tournament, the event. I told them to ask Ash a question, and use my name, say something with Poe in it, and see what's his reaction. That's exactly what I said. And King Juice was the only one because everybody comes, like they were saying, yeah, we're gonna ask. Not everybody. It was a couple of guys that said it. Like Sage, he don't say nothing. No disrespect to him, but he kind of arrogant, and that's bad. Everybody that's trying to link up and trying to make this community stronger, you're arrogant against them, or you're scared. A lot of the people that was there, it seemed like they were scared to ask questions or say certain things. Not disrespecting the people that like King Juice or something, but a lot of them were like they were scared to ask questions. Man, I wish I could get Ash on my podcast or something. But they probably had two people, one on each side, telling him what he can't say. Let me see. I did like. Oh yeah, okay. I read that a lot. I know a lot of people didn't like that, but it was necessary and valid. Yeah, it was. It was. I appreciate he said that. The Ash brought up. Yeah, we are working on a system in which you can basically, what do you say, customize the way your boxer fight. I've been writing wish lists and I put that idea out there a billion times. And I'm like, yo, say when you create a person, it should be tendencies that you could give the person like they have in NBA 2K. That will make the offline better, much better. Paul, do you have any hope for Undisputed 2? Nope. Nope. I'll probably push for it, like hype it up and stuff like that until I really see the gameplay. And once I see the gameplay, if it doesn't match up or anything, that's when I'm gonna start bashing it. And people like, why are you gonna bash it? I'm gonna bash it. I'm gonna bash it. I'm gonna talk bad about it. Uh, and a lot of people keep saying they're not making a part two. They literally said they're making a part two. I'll get ass. Man, I wish I could get ass. Cause I got see that's one show I might actually show my emails with Ash, but I don't want to be that guy like that. I don't want to because that we might get our friendship back some type of way, and then I'm exposing what we talked about. But a lot of people be like, "Oh, you ain't taught that. Come on, man, stop with that nonsense." I used to go through that all the time with this game. I said the same thing. They were on their P's and Q's when asking questions. Yeah, I would like. I was thinking that. Let me hold up. I'll send you the whole interview to watch personally. Paul laughing all. I was not scared that. No, I'm saying it's not. I said a couple of people weren't scared, but it was questions like they was like what I say the safe questions. It's like the safe questions. It's like when like oh yeah, since you here, didn't Will pull y'all to the side one by yourself to talk to y'all? Yes or no? Or you could blink or wink if you need help. But I know the whole that whole protocol and stuff. Oh, that was strange. That was strange because usually he sides pull you to the side. I heard the BPM system is like trash. It's not. It's like nothing. Nothing like what it was made to do. Oh, okay. Oh yeah. Oh, Jay said my phone died mid recording, so I'll only got 10 minutes of it. But I feel like that conversation was better than the Ash one. Yeah, Ash was being too safe, and that's why I was my thing. I was like, let me see how Ash sit, where Will sits, and everything. He aligned himself in view of Will, and he was like looking up. If people don't believe me, look at the video. He was saying, was it okay to say certain things as he was talking? And I'm like, yo, they still doing that? I thought it was gonna be a free for all, but he was Will aligned himself certain places. I'm serious. I'm serious, Jay. Because I think you looking at it a certain way. Me, I tell it like it is. Even when I was at EA, I mean, when I went to their event, I used to be like, yo, ask them questions and say to them, they're like, Poe, don't ask them that type of question. No, I want to know. I ask questions and I see how each react. And then, Brizzle them, they have somebody say, oh, you can't tell them this or you can't tell them that. Half of the time, Brizzle done told me already. Brizzle used to tell me everything about Fight Night Champion and Fight Night Round 4. I knew everything before everybody knew it. What's up, May? Man, you everywhere on the internet. I always see you popping up. You support everybody on the everybody that's doing videos. I'll say after the interview, I thought that was going to tell us to cut off certain stuff. Don Poe forgot about the chat. JMA is here now. Esports boxing champions. That's what May said. I support gaming and most definitely boxing video games. Yeah, I think I'm gonna start pushing to I'm gonna see. I'm gonna give it about another month, about 2 more weeks to decide if I'm gonna stop. Making content for Undisputed and probably other boxing games, because a lot of developers are interested. That's why I be trying to get fans. Like I make petitions and stuff. I be trying to get people to sign a petition because you let these developers know, because they're like, if we make a boxing game with no real boxers, but it's a good game with mechanics and stuff, will fans still buy it? I say, yeah, they definitely will buy it. They will buy it. I say, there's a couple of games that people are making that doesn't have real boxes in it. The only thing, you got mechanics and you got the tendencies and you have the everything in there that a boxing game has, except for the real boxer's name. People will buy it. The creation mode's got to be top notch. They will buy it. Yeah, I got to start promoting my petition again, because they want to see if fans really want this game. Because they were, let me see, what was it? It was this guy. He's rich, and he's I think he's a movie producer or something like that. I forget his name, but he said when he started making a game, he gonna pull me in. But he got scared because Undisputed came out the door like, wow, like, yo, they more vicious than EA, because they're getting all those boxes and everything. So he like kind of leaned back, but he's still thinking about making a game. And a lot of them, like, they was saying that the game fell off. They said they would look there beautiful, and then it started like slowly start falling apart. Let me see. I really just wish Undisputed Dares would focus more on realism and mechanics more than casual gameplay. Me too. I really do. I really do. They're not even focused on options. Let me see. Freddie G say, that's the guy. Let's go by that logic. How would 20% stats increase the right hand bomb trade? 48 right hand power and 51 on the. Let me see. If you had 20% stat, increase the right hand bomb trade. Hmm. It's some boxes, like when they like energy or something go down, it's like they still got their power. Like George Foreman be tired. You gotta look at the fight with George Foreman and Ron Lyle. They were knocking each other down, and they were tired than a mud. That's what I'm saying. Like in the ESBC, they boxers was tired. Like if you was tired, you was dangerous. That's the way they had it in the earlier game. When you're tired, you're just as dangerous as you were, and that's real. How many people I knocked out? I was dead tired because I'm 5'10" and a half. So I'm fighting people 6'2", 6'3". It was one guy I fought, he was 6'5", and he was leaning on me. Took my legs from under. My legs was like wobbling and stuff and stuff. Like, oh man. So what I had to do, I had to fake him out because I know he was gonna lean on me. I faked like I was coming in, then backed up, hit that joke with a right hand. Boom, knocked him out. That's what we need in the game. Let me see. If you're to show your understanding of the sweet science on a level playing field with no room, hold up, I missed something. I expect them to increase or decrease the value of a fighter. For example, you can't knock Amir Khan out with a one-hitter quitter. Yeah, but early, I don't see this the thing that people got to realize. Are we looking at the Amir Khan early in his career, or the Amir Khan later in his career? Because your chin, for some reason, seems like it kind of deteriorates when you keep getting your chin cracked. So which one are we seeing? Because I seen Amir Khan fight some heck of fights. He fought some fights with some punchers, and he didn't get knocked out early in his fight. I mean, early in his career. So that's what we got to look at too. Let me see. Facts: a good solid game with depth and complexity would be greater than a shell of a game with all names. Exactly. And that's what I'm trying to explain. I talked to over the last month 10 developers. 10 developers want to make a game. And I said, the more games, the better. And your game can outshine another game. And I'm pretty sure if a game is made right, the money is there. The money is there. So we gotta go back to like the old days when we had 3 and 4 basketball games, 3 and 4 baseball games. I remember them days. And don't say Poe old. All right, let me see. Favorite part of the interview was when someone asked for parries, then cold blooded telling Ash about how to get rid of desync on their engine. Don't know a lot on the engine stuff, but he was on it. Yeah, that was crazy. And the block and judging part, Steve Kim tell Ash he was wrong on that was kind. Man, Steve Kim made me want to smack him. I'm like, what are you talking about, Steve? You going see he when he was saying stuff, he wasn't telling about reality. He trying to go about what he think boxing should be. And that's the thing what I see in this game a lot. What boxing should, how you think boxing should be, instead of giving us what boxing is. It's like you got a 5-year-old in the gym. I mean, in the studio, and he said, "Well, I want this. No, that's too hard. I want that. No, that's too hard right there. I don't want that." It's like that's what y'all doing. Give us what you see in boxing. It's crazy. Let me see. May say, let me see. That going. I wonder why this stuttering. Oh, May said it's crazy though, because with a license, undisputed could still be good, but it looks to be what is going to be exactly. Why does the Creator League make the gameplay better than the current general perception of the game? Because they have certain rules and stuff. I'm am I right, Jay? Is that's the because y'all set up certain rules that people got to play a certain way. Did Ash even mention that he's going to fix the gameplay at any point of the interview? I don't. I don't think so. I really don't. I don't think they're going. It's like seriously, it's like he was focused on getting out the putting out more DLC, and that's how they lost them boxes. And people said, "Oh, that ain't how why they lost the boxes. They had contractual obligations. Yeah, they had contracts, not the obligations. They had contracts. 5 years they've been waiting to be in the game. People was like, they won't put me in the game. I've been waiting for 5 years, and I've been telling my kids, my wife, my you know, they telling all these people, and it's been like 5 years they've been signed. So a lot of them like backing out and they renegotiating. Let me see. Yeah, the more games, the better. Yeah, exactly. That guy's sick. There are no traits with guarantees. Flash knockouts, only knockdowns. Gotta have realistic expectations and understanding. See, that's the thing that when the developers they can't hit me with that stuff. Like, well, you gotta have understanding of developing. You don't really know because if you knew these things, you would be a developer. I read the same books you read. I get the same information that you got from developers. Like when they say some can't, that's I used to get EA every time. Every time. It's a lot of stuff that wasn't in the game. And EA used to be like, oh, we can't put it in. It's hard to do. I go and ask another developer from another company, or I do my research. Then when I break it down to them, they say, all right, but we'll give you that one. And it's the same thing what's going on now. Now people saying, well, the developers say it can't. Come on, man. A lot of these developers are not, they're like new, like literally new to making games. But you have, I think, what's that, 20 people on the team that's veterans. So that cancels out that we don't know stuff. Because I can count them. They have veterans on their team. Let me see. Daggone. Who would see? I'm trying. Let me see. That's what I'm talking about. We need more boxing games. They don't even have to be all that similar. Over time, the whole genre improves. Then there's competition. Yeah, once the competition comes, it makes companies do more. 2K, they stopped trying once they knew EA wasn't making another NBA Live. But then fans had to step up. That's what, see, fans don't step up, and they like, when you step up and force a company hand, that a lot of companies like that, like the developers and stuff, because they have people over them, the CEOs and the publishers and stuff like that. That holds them back from doing what they really want. But they like when fans tell them about, look, the fans want this. Let me see, JM, man, he was cooking at first. Then he starts saying the judges should rob players online. That got slick. That's real life, and it ain't an undisputed, bro. Dogs call for corruption. Oh yeah. See, that's a story mode idea. But all the other stuff, I don't want it. Dog call for let me see. That's my point, bro. The traits were to allow that, but they don't work that way. Facts. I heard the trades really don't work at all. Made he was tweaking, dog. Made he was tweaking, dog. Laughing out loud. I don't even know why he said that. Yeah, I don't know if he was trying to be funny or not. I was like, yo, what is he talking about? Funny enough, we still don't have rules. We just play. Not gonna lie. Isn't the creator league designed to promote the game? Most players are trying to exploit the flawed mechanics to win, so they care less about how it looks. I would think. See, the thing with the Creator League, you're not going to see the sync or anything because they're right there. It's like what do you call it when you playing somebody localized service? I mean, it's localized, so everything you ain't got to worry about all that desync and everything. I'm pretty sure y'all didn't see no desync unless there was interference in the studio where y'all's at, because y'all got a lot of stuff going on around there in Vegas. Let me see. On gameplay, they talked about some stuff, but they were secretly on what exactly it was. So you don't know when we supposed to get a major announcement about what's to like really come. Can you really say something about it? I don't care what it is. I'm talking about yes or no. If there's a big announcement coming up about hopefully, I mean not hopefully, but Undisputed 2 or whatever they're gonna do. That guy Slick, it never been traced that guaranteed flash knockout, bro. You that I think I read that. Oh, I must have missed and read your misread your text. Laughing out loud, my fault. It's been esports champion said it's been done in other games already. I feel like the undisputed devs just don't notice that kind of stuff. They don't. They don't do their research. Cause this the things that I be trying to say. I even used to talk to anybody about it. I said, Brizzle, Brian Hayes. I used to give them information and stuff. Like they got videos of when you punch somebody, the impact and stuff like that, or boxers in the ring. Cause they used to Brizzle. He wanted a realistic game, but it wasn't up to him. So he's studying to try to add as much as he can without them like saying, "Hey, that's too much realistic stuff in the game." But Brizzle, he really wanted the real game. Oh, I must have misread. I read that. AJ Pack said, "If the Creator League is showing that gameplay is better, how does the Creator League member go forward to implement those conditions in the game?" That guy Slick said, "But I will say, Free DG, I like debates with you. You keep it cordial." That guy Slick, likewise, nothing personal and all. Man, I'm personal, G. I owe you. Nah, I'm messing with you. All love from me. Just want a better game like everyone else. AJ Pack, if better gameplay loses to someone, exploits the mechanics, it's kind of defeat the purpose of trying to make it look better. If the mechanics are on point, better gameplay should win. Yeah, facts. Can I say something? No, but they acknowledge the Unreal Engine hires. Yeah, I didn't been know about that when they was coming on. I was looking at they hire the people they was hiring, and they still off target with the people that they really need for this game. I feel like they're about to announce Undisputed 2. I hope that's like next month announcement. Can I say? Oh, I just read that. Dad, going. If you look at the Steam charts, there's no way that 90% of players like this game. Yeah, but that was hypothetical. But him saying that he said 95. I think he said 95. 95% of the he's saying 95% of the people like the game, and that was strategic. By him saying that, they said those 5% people on the Discord and stuff. No, if you're using content creators, are you using the content creators for the 5 people in the Discord? Because you basically saying the Discord people in the Discord don't mean nothing. No, I wanted to look be a realistic. Because I be listening to people like they say, what do you say? One boxer, he's a lightweight. He's 85. Say he's 85, but Usyk is something, you know, just giving a high number or something like that. They're in different weight classes. Y'all don't understand. Some people don't understand how ratings are made. They even if a person like at the end, like if you look at their whole rating and their overall, like a boxer that got, let's say he's 95. That don't mean that his 95 match up with this other person 95 in his weight class. Because one boxer could be slow. It could be like 55 or 40, be slow like a turtle. And that's what brings his ratings, even up some. Or some boxer can have high stats in certain things. So that makes his ratings go, but people are not seeing it like that. That's why nobody's educating them. They're like, well, what they were saying, was it John Ruiz or somebody? They were saying that why is he so rated so high? Look at his stats before you say the overall. The overall really doesn't tell the story about the boxer. People worry about the wrong things. So AJ Pack saying, so boxing champions, does that mean that the Creator League is hiding the exploits or maybe misdirecting? Kano, a tournament exhibition mode makes the game fun. The need referee judges belt and what to exactly. See, these are the things. See, I know what the casual fans want, but I also know what the hardcore fans want. And if you're trying to get these people to stay on and more people to come in, for one, you should have had a creator mode. If the game is doing bad or whatever, if you had a refined creator mode, a deep creator mode, it would have kept the fan base. But somebody on their team is not educated enough to know that. Even when I was talking, I used to tell Brizzo and what's his name, J Bro, um, make sure the what's called the creator mode is in depth. It gotta have depth to it. Them tendencies that they got on Fight Night Champion and Fight Night Round 4, that's my idea. It really is. They kind of gave me a shout out because they got a what you call it, like you win a certain thing to say um poetic, so they let me know that was for me, but they can't directly say my name in there, or that means I got to get paid then. Somewhere they got to give me something. But I always tell companies, you ain't got to give me nothing. I work for you with I don't want to get paid. That's my passion. Even when I was helping round for round, he was gonna pay me. I said, no, I don't want no money. I said, I just want a great game. Let me see. What's that? A Clockwork Origin Orin Combat, excuse me for chopping up your name. 95% was a hypothetical number. Yeah, it was. But it was strategically said. It was hypothetical, but it was strategically said. Because what's going to happen is people going to grab onto that 95%, and they're going to say, hey, look, 95%. Look, y'all don't matter. Y'all 5%. But he doubled down and said the majority of the people like this game. And that's a lie. He said the majority of the people like this game. Stop putting words in people's mind, because by you not acknowledging that people are upset about the game, you think the game really don't need to be fixed. And there's a lot of people that's upset with the game. Not the majority of the people like the game. JMMA, I thought that I heard Ash speaking on that being a possibility that they were considering. What you talking about, a new game that's guy slick? Yeah, I hope it. I'm trying to see what they're gonna do, because as kept when we talked, he said he didn't want to have sequels to the game. He just wanted the game to constantly upgrade. He wanted to be an online upgrade type game. But I guess he wanted to change the engine because this engine is not going. That's another thing. Yeah, that's another thing I want to talk about. He said he wanted to change the engines because the Unity engine can't do all the things that he want. What do you want? Because you literally just said that you don't want the game to be realistic. That's what I got out of when he said that. He said that basically the game should be hybrid. And when he said that, I said, "Oh, I know who was in your ear. Something that just can't act like they don't exist or I don't know." The problem is when someone who doesn't play by their rules gets in there and throw a wrench in the narrative. The mechanics need work to fix that. Why did that sound weird when I read it? But I understand what you're saying. I think the devs are trying to maintain that everybody loves undisputed narrative for marketing reasons. Yep, I said that too. That's a marketing thing. Poe, I'm talking about Ash saying he might remove no ratings, just traits instead. No, he was talking about removing the ratings. I did a whole article on that. With he said that he wanted to remove the ratings. He said remove the ratings and have a tier list. Not like a tier list. Look that up. What fighting games have tier lists? What kind of games like combat games have tier lists? And it's going to show you a whole list of fighting games. Ratings, traits, stats, license boxes. It's just a fun arcade game. Hate to say, anyone here looking for sim might want to forget it. I don't. I gave up. That's why I left out the Discord before they put me out because they always looking for something. They always correcting me, and I'm like, you really correcting me? Everything I say got to be a correction. Oh, okay. Yeah, everything they always used to try to correct me about everything. And I even told Saf that I was a better at marketing than she was because they never like take the opportunities like when there's major boxing matches, they all these boxing matches will be great vessels to ride on or vehicles to ride on with this game. But if it was fixed, but that's a good way to advertise and market this game. Let me see. Those things aren't inherently bad. They just make for people to play based on those things and not their own skill, in my opinion. So with that said, we can't even talk mechanics because at that point they're out the window. Yeah. I posted on Discord that true boxing fans it's over for us. We ain't getting some. Man, did you get banned? Did you get banned? Did they discipline you and tell you you can't say that? Who cares for the mechanics when I got Wilder throwing a hook and dropping any opponent or in South? See, that's the crazy. I was glad you brought that up. The Southpaw part, they had it fixed like in the betas and the early gameplay. Like a boxer, when they try to switch up and they're not known to switch up, they will be awkward. That was in the game. They will fight awkward. They just took that out the game. I'm like, what the heck happened? Now you up here like saying is something breaking the game and stuff. You took out things that was making the game look realistic. Like if a boxer, like certain boxers don't fight from a certain um side, they should be awkward. They should stumble a little bit or they throw their punches awkward. They took that out. Like the game is all over the place. Yeah. No, I'm still on. Oh, they ain't get you, huh? I'm shocked they ain't get you. I guess they're like we getting rid of too many people. They are spreading. They are spread too thin. I don't know. Much as they be taking vacations, that's the thing. It's like they always taking vacations. When you got a major project, you supposed to make sure that's okay, and then you take your vacations. I know that's what EA used to do. Soon as they finished Fight Nights or Knockout Kings, they went on vacation. The developers went on vacations. Yeah, they don't. Let me see. Let me see. And they are spread too thin, and now gotta decide who to appease. They could appease both of us by giving us options. This will never end for some, and for the others, it won't matter. Exactly, which is where it's at now. Replacing fighters. What you mean, Leafy, by replacing fighters? Did I miss something? Yeah, they don't really have a focus. They don't know what they want to do. Exactly. There's no vision of what it's like they had a roadmap, then they threw it away. Let's show this roadmap. They saw it. All right, let's throw it away now. That's like what they did. I'm like, yo, you had a roadmap. You changed the roadmap, I think like 4 or 5 times, and you didn't stick to neither one of them. Yeah, they don't really have a focus. Let me see. They really don't have a focus. They don't know what they want to do. There's no vision of what they want the game to be. They just want to sell as much as they can. Facts. Let's not even talk about okay, yeah, got all these different fighters with same mechanic. Exactly. Like Muhammad Ali, he doesn't fight like the older Muhammad Ali. The Roy Jones don't fight like the older Roy Jones. I'm like, you're not making these boxes look distinctively. That's how you sell DLC. I'm like, who's the art director and stuff like that? Oh, I know the art director, but I think they got somebody else that's helping them. I'm like, you're not paying attention to these things. Each version of boxes, they different. And in real life, they should be different. Some boxes slow down. Some box like Roy Jones, he was and when he was younger, he was known for his defense, his head movement, what his offense and his head movement was his defense. When he got older, then he tried to start using defense. But other than that, you can't make a boxer what he's not if you're not like really doing the research on it. Oh, I said it looks like Fight Night Forever Team will actually be changing the gameplay of how Fight Night works. Now that right there, that might be a good thing. Because my thing is always like when these people they got the skills to change the images on the boxes, they should have the skills to change the or add mechanics to the unboxers. Very interesting now since we know it isn't just skins replacing fighters. Yeah, because I hated that because I was like, man, they doing the same thing what Still City's doing. They just giving us skins. Oh yeah, shout out to JMMA and who was that? Juice. They're talking about it's nothing like major with the Terrence Crawford character because it's just his hair and different gear. But there's nothing different, which he looks different at the higher weight. He did different stuff. Let me see. Again, it's not necessarily a bad thing or bad game. They just in the corner getting walked down by finances, the community, and a bad foundation. My thing is they're not using their finances correctly because for one, like I was saying, they buying all these things, they doing all these things instead of hiring the correct developers. I could post a list of the developers that they need, and then you match them up. I think they only got like two or three. It's like 15 developers that they need for the game that they really like fans really want. They need like 15 developers, but then they're not doing that. Let me see. They have a new roadmap. They do. They want to sell to the casuals and make profit off of the microtransaction. And that's crazy because usually at this point in the game, it's the hardcore fans that buy stuff like that. But you get casual fans with the gear and stuff. Hardcore fans, they want the mechanics. So that's why they always throw like new gear and stuff in there. Casuals get excited for that flashy stuff. Make the gear flashy. They'll like it. I sent you a picture of the newest update in the server for the game. Who you send it to me, Leafy? To fix finances, you get DLC. Yeah. The but they ran like I was telling people, they ran through that money. They got so much stuff that they're buying and doing that they ran through that money. I mean, not they didn't run through it, but they're running through it. Then they got like 80, 90 workers on it on. They probably got more than that. Because when I say they developers, I always include the whole team. But when you go on LinkedIn, that's not the whole team. I mean, that's not the developer team. For the community, they try to stay in communication. The foundation, I don't know what they doing about that. I don't know many updates and patches the game done and had, and that's just on console. Send out patch notes, and half of the stuff is actually performed. The meet with community and ask what the problems are. See, my thing was the idea that I was giving them about the live roundtable. That was a great idea. And they're making a billion excuses. Say, oh, we can't do this. It's not gonna work and stuff. Right then and there, when they said that, I knew something was coming. They were deflecting. Like when they say, "Oh, we're gonna be answering the same questions over and over again," so we had to scrap the round table. Y'all weren't gonna never have a round table. No matter how much you try to make us believe it, y'all never was gonna have a round table. I used to do live round tables with EA. I wish I still had them podcasts, but because talk show they wasted. I had a lot of interviews. I had a interview with what's his name? Jeff Mayweather, Floyd Mayweather uncle. I had an interview with him. I had an interview with Eddie Chambers. I had an interview with a couple of fighters and trainers. And now all that talk show erased it to wipe to upgrade their systems. Let me see. It sucks and I hate it, but I'm a gamer and I seen too much in the industry. That's what I be saying. A lot of these people, a lot of these companies got to realize a lot of people been playing video games all their life, and they see certain things. Let's talk about how Freddie G said. Let's talk about Roy Captain Hook Jones Jr. Don't have any type of hook trait. Yeah, that's wild. I think they have moved on. Honestly, that's what it seemed like. I was saying that myself. It seemed like the team is moving on. If bigger triple A companies with games and more popular sectors than boxing do it, OFC is going to happen here, and they have shown that's the time they're on. Leafy said, "I'm probably going to head out for now. Poe, thanks for the stream tonight. Salute, Leafy." Um, May said, "Man, they're not going to finish sit under the heat of live random question askers. Heck, boy, I'll jump on. I hate 'cause, like when they was doing it back when we had the ESBC version and they was taking live questions in the Discord, and I jumped in there too late. I was ready to start blazing with questions. Anybody say I asked too many questions. Let me see. Man, they're not finished. Oh, I read that. They got to have some sort of control on it for PR purposes. I can't blame them for that. Unless you knew you had a good game. Let me see. For 30 plus years, I've been gaming. Oh, you're an old head too, huh? Not old head, but I'm just saying you up there. You're not like a teenager. To be fair, EA seemed to have a different focus, at least until they made Fight Night Champion. It seemed like Champion was probably just EA trying to sell, and that game wasn't as good as others. See, with Fight Night Champion, I think that's when I left. I left EA because they're trying to make me be a moderator for the UFC game. They're like, Poe, go to the UFC game. That's gonna be our next project. And I said, nope, wasn't interested in it. And I knew when they was focusing on the story mode. And what makes it so bad, Brizzo and the team, they already had a blueprint and the way they wanted to make. They thought the team actually thought they were gonna make a Fight Night Champion too. They already had it set up. So it was like a shock to them when they say, "Oh, we're gonna focus just on the UFC game." And I think that had a little to do with the sales and what's his name that owned the UFC. I think it had a lot to do with them. But the sales weren't good, and they keep saying, "Oh, the sales weren't good because of the UFC game." No, the UFC game wasn't really out then. So don't blame the sales on the UFC game because they start working on that after Fight Night Champion. So don't blame that on no UFC. So them story modes really cost them like that. Yeah, that's why I be telling people. People be saying we need a story mode in Undisputed. I say that's expensive. If they go the same route EA went with the actors and stuff, because them was so-called high value actors and stuff, and for them to put them graphics and everything up for that cost them a nice amount of money. It because each game that EA got, that's why I be telling people too. EA has a large profile of games, and they allocate a certain amount of money to each game. And the story mode ate up the majority of the development money for the main game. Even the developers like Poe, we can't even put everything we wanted. Like when they put the tendencies in that was like 2% of the tendencies that I gave them. Dana, oh yeah, Dana White, yeah, that's his name. will only work with EA if they agreed not to, exactly. That's exactly what it was. That's exactly what it was. But that was, but they were at first they were blaming they was trying to blame the UFC for the sales. UFC had nothing to do with the sell. A great, like I keep telling people, they keep using that excuse. A great game is a great game, no matter what is boxing. If boxing was just stopped yesterday and they made a boxing game, it's going to sell. So don't blame it on oh boxing wasn't doing that good. If you do the research and you see what boxers in that era and that year that Fight Night Champion released, it was good boxers that was they was still boxing was still moving. UFC had nothing to do with that. EA did that because they weren't making money off the game the way they thought they were going to make. A lot of fans protest. They said because there's like because 2K at that we were saying 2K set the standards for how sports games should be made at that time. I think people just need like a story around training maybe. Yeah, they could have a story mode in, but you ain't gotta have the real people in there. You ain't gotta have them real actors and stuff. You ain't gotta have them expensive actors in there. Cause like you gotta realize like games like Victorious Boxers, they got story modes in it. And I'm pretty sure they didn't like really have expensive actors in it. So it can work. Let me see. Story mode was expensive for the budget, and it took a lot of development too. They stripped the game down and put in that interactive movie, cut the FPS in half, removed like 2 or 3% of the punches. Yep, they removed a lot of stuff from it for what's called purposes, art hybrid. It was a hybrid, so it had to be like when I used to tell the developers at EA, I said the game is a hybrid, and he said you're right. And it always lean when you make a hybrid game, it always leans more towards arcade than sim or realism. That was my theory. Plo 617 said that was my theory, and the not making a boxing game so they could concentrate solely on UFC. Yeah, story mode will take will story mode will just take their focus away. They need to focus on mechanics. It does need mini games and training camp. Yeah, but with EA, people gotta realize EA is a massive company. They could have hired, and this is from an EA developer. They could have hired another team or took developers from other teams to work on a boxing game. But again, Dana White, I'm pretty sure he had something to do with that. And EA didn't like the sales that they got because it took them. I'm saying they just hit 2 million they sales. They just hit it because like I think beginning this year it was they was at 1 million. It took them 10 years to hit 1 million sales, and it took them just till now to have 2 million sales. So that's like wow for EA. And what's going their most sold game is Fight Night Round Three. I didn't know that, and I usually be up on that. I didn't know that. Yeah, Dana White was pretty bent on legitimizing UFC as the new legit fighting sport. Him and the UFC guys were always taking trash, talking trash about boxing on major networks for years. And look what happened. Exactly, they were. They were. They was trying to say boxing is dying out. They put that out there too. Then EA started repeating. I'm like, what you mean boxing is dying? They say it's a dying sport. We got to focus on what's new. And I'm like, boxing is not dying. They have a lot of stars. And EA, they were kind of like, I think it's only two developers on the team that was like hardcore boxing fans, but some of them were like super casual. Cause I remember back then, that's when Shane Mosley, I think Shane Mosley just he was getting real popular, and Shane Mosley wanted to be in the game. And I think for free the way he was acting, he like told me, tell EA I want to be in the game. Sorry, I was talking about SEI with the story mode comment. Oh, okay. Yeah, but these developers keep giving them money and stuff that they got to keep returning. My thing was, like I always say, Steel City, when they got that nice lump of money from the sales of the game, they should have paid off the publishers and paid off the investors so they can make the game they want to make. I still can't stand Joe Rogan for that. That man went on a media tour trashing boxing. Yeah. Trashing boxing and you supposed to be Mike Tyson friend and other boxers friend. That was crazy. Shannon Beers is like should have hit that joke with a body shot. What you think about this? Boom. Dad, what time is it? I think I've been on 2 hours. Oh yeah, I want to are y'all coming to the show Sunday at 3 p.m.? We got a podcast. It's supposed to have JMMA, King Juice, um I think Dark Side says he's coming. You know, probably have the whole content creators on there. And I'm gonna go in on questions. I know one per oh fight what the Fight Night Finest. I think yeah, Fight Night Finest, me and Fight Night Finest, we're gonna he's trying to convince me to like things that I don't like. Oh, the time is 3 p.m. Eastern time, Sunday. Working on a Terrence Crawford versus Canelo video this weekend, but I'll try to make it. All right, yeah, trying to get it so even if Undisputed doesn't take heed, because I get a lot of people from LinkedIn. They come to my shows and they watch the videos. I mean, they watch my videos from the show. And I post on there, I get like probably like 100 views, 50 views sometimes. So that means they're looking at my videos. So y'all can probably come on there and say what y'all think a boxing game needs, and you tell them that y'all support it, and you know stuff like that, and that makes them get like, yeah, see, he got people want us to make a game. You know, y'all could do that. Um, I think I'm about to sign off. I appreciate y'all for coming through. Y'all always come through. You know, appreciate y'all. I'm about to end the stream. It's 13 people up here and I only see 6 people. So that means is Undisputed looking watching this? Or you know, yeah, look, them 3 people left. Quick. Peace. Yeah, yeah, I'm about to leave. But you know, try to make it to the show on Sunday. And you know, share this video when I upload it. You know, peace. I appreciate y'all for coming through. Y'all never failed to support. And till the next one. See y'all Sunday. Peace. Type of junk. I'll sit.